Hi everyone, today we're looking at a test route coming out of Sidcup Test Centre. That's just there on the left in that grey building behind the green fence. We're going to be heading up towards Crittalls Corner from the test centre, a little bit on the A20 coming off through Sidcup High Street. It covers some of the areas that I get asked a lot about, especially Crittalls Corner and the roundabout up at Chislehurst. Just be careful when you're coming through the estate here. It is a 50-mile-an-hour limit, and the examiners will be watching your speed throughout the test. In the clip I have got the sat-nav running, so those noises, that beep there that you heard, is a warning system for the speed limits. Left turn at the end of the road, you see right on the ground. Checking both ways, it's blind corner to the left, so make sure we're peeping and creeping. Notice here, this van, I'm not actually quite sure what he's doing. Signalling left, but moving off to the right. He's found his exit now. This red van looks a bit eager. He isn't actually paying attention to what he's doing. So just cover the brake, just be careful. Okay, so as we approach the Footscray roundabout, make sure you get a good look at that sign on the left. Make sure what number exit you're looking for. So we're taking the fourth exit as the sat-nav has told us. So right-hand lane. Approach walking speed as well. Give yourself time to have a look on the roundabout, see what's going on. Make good progress round. Start counting your exits. So 1, 2. Start looking for the third round to the right where the blue car is. Passing 3. You notice where I look now. As I straighten up, check my left mirror, make sure nobody's on my inside. Lights down the bottom there. Keep an eye on those lights. Check both sides. You can't really clearly see to the right until you get closer. Has anybody pressed the buttons? Have a look at the little wait symbols. About. So sat-nav's told me to turn right, but I'm actually going to do this from the left-hand lane because I know at the roundabout, when I get to it, I'm going to be going straight over second exit. And the reason I can approach from the left-hand lane is because there's 2 lanes on the entrance to the roundabout. Just watch here, single lane, just after that bend it's going to split to 2. A good look to your right, clearly see it's nice and clear. Have a good look to the right, double check, and I'm keeping in that left-hand lane, bending to the right. Roundabout sign approaching. So I was told me to take the second exit, straight across. So as I approach the give way line, I'm going to look on the ground, I'm going to look for that A20 sign. It's all signposted for you. Go straight into that middle lane. There's my first exit, so I want to be next to the curb after that. Checking beside me, make sure nobody's coming around me, undertaking, overtaking. As soon as I'm at that first exit, I'm going to signal left, keep to my left. As I go round, I'm checking to see if anyone's overtaking me, and I keep well to the left as I come round. Now, it is only one lane, but there's space for 2 cars. So if I keep to the left, it means anybody that's in a rush wants to go quicker than me, they can actually come round me. Green sign there tells me I'm going to have a dedicated lane for myself. Just going to be aware that on this A20 there's a slip road off up towards Bromley, Chislehurst, Sidcup. I'm watching that middle lane for cars overtaking coming across in front of me, just like this car is now. And I'll check again just before I exit. Always exit on the left. Sat-nav wants me to turn right, third exit. So I need to do a lane change now. Check my mirror, look over my shoulder, signal and move. So there's a third exit on the roundabout. It's to the right. Signal's nice and early. Now I can focus on the roundabout. Okay, how much can I see? Now, there's a brick wall to my right. It actually hides quite a lot of my view, so I'm probably going to have to stop. Lean forward, creep forward. And it actually makes sense to make a bit more progress here. Just as you're passing this first exit, you're going to start looking for that left lane after the second. So here now, I'm going to start thinking about coming over straight away. Owning that position so nobody's going to come around my outside there. Now I'm checking my overtake side, which is the right, as I exit. Looking round for that bus stop on the left, just outside the college. Often you come round off of that roundabout and there's a bus stop stuck right in this, outside this college, and you find yourself having to do a lane change. But don't rush it. I mean, worst case scenario, we'll just sit behind the bus and do a lane change. But if you're planning on looking early enough, you can actually anticipate that happening. Get yourself into that right hand lane early. Just car pull out in front of me here. Using the dash cam footage, it's not actually that clear on distances because the lens is curved, so it makes things, some things look a little bit closer than they actually are. Now just there, I did ignore the sat nav because I actually wanted to just show you the high street part of the test route. And being in the rain, we're going to see potentially some pedestrians in a bit of a rush to get out of the rain. So just be careful as you're going through the high street. There's plenty of zebra crossings that you're going to need to navigate. Just take your time through there. Lots of scanning. If you watch my screen that's focused on me, you actually notice I'm doing lots of checks as I go through. So we're going to turn right at these crossroads into the high street. Something that I pick up on quite a lot when moving off from traffic lights is that a lot of learners don't tend to check their mirrors just before they move off. And we're looking for motorcyclists, moped riders that are doing their deliveries, cyclists. Just have a little look. Who's creeping through? Who's in a rush? Who wants to be there before you? And just there isn't enough space for me to actually cross that white line, that stop line for the traffic lights. So though we've got a green light, what I don't want that to do is to change and I'm stuck half over it. So I'll wait until there's actually space for my whole vehicle to get past that white line, if it remains green. There we go, red light, and I'm safe. I'm behind that stop line. You'll notice the stop line that I'm behind is further back than the lane on my left, and that's simply because it's such a narrow road, and the road that I'm on. For large vehicles like buses and lorries coming into this road from our right, it needs that extra swing room, and by me being a little bit further back enables them to swing round and get into the road. If we watch this bus now, you'll see exactly what I mean. Position yourself at the crossroads like you've been taught by your instructors. Give the oncoming traffic enough space to get around you. Now I know that traffic coming towards me can't turn right from their side. I haven't got to worry too much about that. Just look for a big enough gap. Double check the road you're going into. We're getting a red light now, so make sure that blue car stops and off we go. Now lots going on in this high street. lots of buses, lots of crossings, lots of shops, and actually the footpath's quite narrow, so you don't get a lot of warning or time to react if somebody does just decide to cross the road. Something I always note to my learners is just here where that van is now, there's a little bump in the road there, and it kind of looks like a crossing, and to pedestrians they think it is. So just be really careful when approaching that. Lots going on at this zebra crossing. Are any of these people about to cross? I'm ready to stop here. None of them do, so I can proceed. Lots of mirror checks, lots of observations. Who's behind me? How will my actions affect them behind? That's the second crossing. Third one coming up. Checking both sides. Make sure you can clearly see. Now this roundabout, as we approach, we're going straight ahead. It's our first exit, so I'm signalling left, but be careful that signal doesn't stay on after you've taken the roundabout, because there's a little turn to the left there, and if your left signal stays on and somebody's sat at that junction, they may think that you're turning into that road and pull out in front of you. See, it's quite hard to see around the corners. You find the pillars in the front of the car obscure your view quite a lot on this road. So you want to be looking out your side windows, moving your body, adapting to give you the best possible view, enabling you to make that forward progress really. Really blind mini roundabout coming up, and really from most exits you can't see to the right, so it's going to be a stop at the roundabout. Creep out, you see me leaning forward there, really trying to get the best view I can. Checking the mirrors as we move off. Lots of mirror checks, lots of manoeuvring down this road. Some people think the road's wide enough for two cars, but really it depends where the vehicle coming towards you is positioned, so just remain defensive, just be ready to give way. I'm doing a little stop here where they may ask you on a test. Angled start. So there's a car approaching from behind. Keep an eye on him as he goes past. Shoulder check before you come out. If you look through the pavement here, you can actually see further down the road. What I mean by the pavement is between the trees and the houses. Looking down that road as far as you can. Now at the end of this road we're turning left. It's quite narrow, I mean the road's wide, but you've got these bells just on the floor there on the left. Just make the road a little bit tighter, or at least feel that way. It's quite hard to see, there's a wall to my right. So now we're heading back down to the test centre through Footscray. I'm going to deal with the Footscray crossroads. And both lanes at these crossroads do go ahead. I just advise you to keep left unless there's a bus parked in the bus stop the other side of the crossroads, which has got its hazard lights on, which means it's obviously a temporary obstruction. He's probably staying there for a little while. Just means you're only checking your overtake mirror to your right as opposed to looking for undertaking vehicles. there we have it really. We're going to go across the crossroads, we'll head down further into Footscray and then we'll turn left back in towards the test centre. Again, just be careful, there's a 15-mile-an-hour limit in there, and they will be looking. I'm going to be doing a few more videos, try and cover as many test routes as I can in Sidcup, but just remember, learning the test routes isn't the key to passing your driving test. The key is to practice, 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 practice your art. I tell this to people time and time again, and don't just leave your training to being inside the car as well. Make sure you're taking it home. If you're using our logbooks, go home, study it, use the app, make contact with your driving instructor, ask them questions, remember to bring it to your lesson. If I was to tell you that most of my learners that use the logbook, they probably knock off about 10 hours of in-car training because they're taking their learning home. There's also lots of other videos online, and I'm planning on doing a few more that are a little bit more specific to certain situations. So I'm going to start off by doing the cockpit and controls lessons, specifics for certain left turns, right turns, your MSPSL routines, things like this. So look out for those. And also, if there's anything that you want to see, that you want me to create and upload, that is going to help you, leave some comments below. And I'll make what I can to help you. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it. Hope it's been helpful. Good luck on your driving test. And if you want one of us at Podium to teach you, to coach you, to mentor you, get you through the test, make you safer for life, get in contact. Our website is drivepodium.co.uk, or you can give us a call on 0330 133 3930. Thanks for watching.